All right, peace and blessings, and welcome to another episode of the Self-Publishing 30 Days podcast, YB's Collaboration Corner, which is a segment that allows for me to interview movers and shakers that are making moves in their specific industry, and they understand the power of collaboration and how collaboration creates currency. I have the pleasure of having Rochelle Edrington with me. Rochelle and I have had the pleasure of working together on a number of different projects. I'll give her an opportunity to share a little bit about what she does. But before we get there, Rochelle, welcome to YB's Collaboration Corner. How are you doing today?
I am well, YB. Thank you so much for the opportunity to connect with you on this platform. You know, I'm always excited for us to connect and learn from each other and figure out how we can, take things to the next level. So I'm excited to be here.
You know, I got to look out for my sister, right? So we got a connection that's deeper than anything business related. I would love for you to share that. But Rochelle, tell everybody who you are and why they should be listening to you.
Absolutely. So my name is Rochelle Edrington. I am the owner and founder of Vpro Marketing Sales. I am a client attraction consultant. Essentially, what I do is I transform meaningless marketing efforts into robust revenue generating strategies for consultants, coaches, service-based businesses, nonprofit leaders who are really just looking to show up and shine online while they increase their bottom line. Now, I know a lot of people always say, okay, you do marketing. I know a lot of people do marketing. Like, why should I work with you? Like, what makes you special, right? We all need to be able to answer that question. I usually tell people, because I've had 10 plus years of marketing and sales experience, I approach marketing from a sales perspective to where when I work with clients, I am not interested in just vanity marketing. I'm interested in trying to figure out how can we align your marketing, your sales, and your content efforts in a way that it streamlines and attracts your ideal clients. So you can focus more on your mission or your craft.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. I could tell you work with a very special woman because you got that luxurious language flowing all through your mouth. Luxurious language. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, you guys need to get with Quinn Conyers. I'm looking at getting her on the podcast soon. But let me tell you something. You're going, first of all, I can tell you from up north, right? You both from up top. You dropped it really fast on us. So give it to us.
Oh, did I? Let me slow it down.
No, it was powerful, right? But I could tell it was luxurious. It's like the luxurious hair that people be wearing. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's a weave. I don't know if it's real. I don't know, but it's luxurious. It was what you just said in terms of what you do. I could tell you have been impacted by Quinn Conyers. Am I correct?
Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. She helped me get it all together.
Great, luxurious. Hey, Quinn.
Just like we got to say this more concisely and compelling.
Let me tell you something. Your students is killing it right now, right? All right. They're killing it right now, right? But so say it one more time. Like, what exactly do you do? Give me that luxury.
In another way, or
no,
say it
give it to me the same way. Give it to me the same way. Yeah, but slow it down. Be intentional about it because I need for you to understand, and this is for people that's listening, right? There is power in the words that you speak. Yes. And understand that Rochelle is in the marketing arena, right? So for those of you who are authors, for those of you who are aspiring authors, you're gonna need to put your promotion in a way that's it's gonna stop people in their tracks, right? So say it for us one more time, Rochelle. What is it that you do? Yeah.
All right, Coach YB.
I'm always coaching.
Always coaching, right? All right. So I am a client attraction consultant. I transform meaningless marketing efforts into robust revenue generating strategies for nonprofit leaders, consultants, service-based businesses who are really just looking to show up and shine online while they increase their bottom line.
I love it. So the reason why I wanted you to say it again, not because you messed up the first time, is because what I want people to walk away from is that the number one thing is that if you're a nonprofit leader, you need to be connecting with Rochelle off the top, right? Obviously, if you need sales and marketing assistance, she's got your back. She's going to hook you up with the marketing because that's the way she operates. But if you are a nonprofit leader, you need to connect and potentially collaborate with Rochelle. So Rochelle, how did you even get into this space? Like, we have a connection to a specific HBCU. I won't say the name of it, but the initials is Virginia Union University, right? So how did you get started? How did you transition from, being a graduate of Virginia Union to now being able to promote this luxurious language where you're transforming, just how did you get to this point?
How did I get to this point? Really, in a nutshell. So, since we're incorporating VUU, I went to school. I got my my bachelor's in marketing. You and I, had shared classes.
Don't tell them how I used to operate in class. Don't tell my business.
You still wore suits. Okay, he was on that
you can tell him that.
Stuff.
Yeah, you can tell him that.
Way back in college.
That's right. People used to, hey, let me hold up, bro. People used to ask me, let me tell you how silly the people were. People would say, man, you dressed in a suit. Are you going to a funeral?
Yeah.
No, man, I'm just dressing up, man. If I look good, you know what I'm saying? I feel good. Mm-hmm. Come on. All right. It's not about me. It's your podcast.
Right. No, you are good. But so yeah, I got my degree at Virginia Union University. And immediately when I graduated, I wanted to, I wanted to be employed in my field, right? Marketing. And I wanted to work for Johnson & Johnson, which in my opinion, at that point in my life had like the best marketing program. Mm-hmm. But every company that I applied for marketing, they always said you need 2 years or more of sales experience. So that kind of triggered something in me like, okay, well, I guess in order to be a great marketer, you have to learn sales, right? Because they do go hand in hand. So I worked in a couple of different industries, the medical supplies field. I did what Will Smith did in Pursuit of Happiness, minus the equipment. Minus the equipment. I did carry around some.
Yeah, I was about to ask you if it had that bone density scanner.
Nah, okay. No, the bone density scanners that we were selling are not mobile. We're not mobile. They have to be delivered. They had to be delivered. But just the concept so people can understand, operating the cold market, I did have some success, but I wasn't fulfilled. So I got into the financial industry. I didn't have the success I wanted. I was fulfilled because I felt like the clients I had, I did change lives, but I was grinding my wheels, working with the wrong market, which is why when you and I talk all the time, what do I always talk about? Target market, your avatar, your persona, because I learned from experience, if you work with the wrong people, it can put you out of business and you will be stressed and, all that stuff. So fast forwarding a little bit more to where I am today, pretty much when I became a mom, my dream of being able to have a business and operate from anywhere really came alive. I kind of envied nurses because no matter where you go, you can find a job. And I'm like, man, what can I do? So I really just like, how can I monetize my skills? I know how to sell. Mm-hmm. I understand marketing, and I got my first client working with a company who brought me on as a sales consultant. And then they started to dibble and dabble in my marketing knowledge. And from there, that was the light bulb like, oh, I might know a little shum. Let me how can I package this thing? You know what I'm saying? So, and then Vpro Marketing was, came alive, really incorporating the marketing and the sales portion of what I do.
Yeah, I love it. The fact that you understood that there was a gap, but you knew that in order for you to get to where you want to go, you have to get certain experiences. Talk a little bit about how, what was the biggest challenge with you as you were getting started in your business?
I think the biggest challenge was really the biggest challenge was really identifying my worth and identifying like how to package, how to put all my experiences and my knowledge together, but then also finding that medium and understanding of how, what do I need to learn to get better clients, right? Because when it comes to, I knew marketing, I went to school for marketing. When we were in school, digital marketing was not a huge thing. I mean, it existed, but not like as a career path, right? So I am self-taught. They didn't offer that in school. So I had to learn from honestly my clients, where my weaknesses were. I actually had a client was like, you're great here, but you suck at content.
Wow.
Well, they weren't that harsh, but I internalized it that way.
But there's beauty in that, because if we're going to serve the marketplace is going to tell us where we need to be, and they determine whether or not our price is our price. I love what Joey Crack says, right? So yesterday's price is not today's price, and the reason why is because if you see me hanging out with somebody that's making big bread, or I'm doing some projects with people that's making big bread, best believe now my bread is going up because of that ability to be connected to them. So that's good. So that self-awareness part, that's good. That's good to be that you were made self-aware. Let's talk about collaboration, right? So what is your definition of collaboration?
My definition of collaboration, just to keep it very simple, is having a win-win agreement. Having a win-win agreement. What's it, John Maxwell? I think he said that, probably in the 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. I'm probably botching up the title.
I won't tell you if you will, if you are, if you're not. I'm not.
Somebody's gonna Google it.
Somebody listening, they'll put it in the chat. They'll tell you. They'll tell you if you're off.
But either way, listen to the integrity of the message. Yeah. But it was in one of the books that I read that stuck with me, was pretty much whenever you get into an interaction, make sure it's a win-win agreement. And I feel like in order to successfully, genuinely, authentically, to collaborate, it's like you're coming in it with the mindset of how can we work together? Yeah. How can we benefit each other? Not what can I get out of this for me, right? So collaboration to me is simply a win-win agreement between two people.
Yeah, I love it. How has collaboration created currency for you?
Currency. So I want to talk about, I guess, for me, currency is not always like the monetary part of it, right? I think currency can also be communicated as, self-development, business development, growth. You get what I'm saying? Just sometimes spiritual development. We're not going to get too deep. You get what I'm saying? Like you meet people that, you met with them for one thing, you realize that they're pouring into your spirit, and that's what you need. Like you and I both know, being entrepreneurs and running a business, you have to be whole. You have to have that part of you kind of, steady, to keep going and climbing this hill. So, but it's worked great for me. It's crazy because literally earlier this year, I employed something that I knew that I should always been doing, but I was like, let me just do it, right? I'm gonna just start reaching out to people. And this is probably, I'm about to give a tip on how people collaborate.
Come on, you can drop a gem or two on this thing. Come on, you can drop a gem or two.
As I mentioned, when you understand, your target audience, your avatar, your persona, right, it can lead to a lot of opportunities. And as it relates to collaborating, if you know what market you're wanting to connect with, how about reaching out to other, people that have a similar market, but that don't offer the same services. Right. So literally, I started connecting with, this year, I think it was just the year of the nonprofits for me, because a lot of my content, a lot of my efforts have been devoted to that realm and things like that. But I reached out to a lot of nonprofit consultants of just introducing myself, letting them know what I do. I'm like, hey, I noticed that you also serve the same audience, but we have different services. Would you be open to connect to see in what ways we could benefit each other? And ironically, a lot of people were like, yeah, absolutely, and got on my calendar. And before you know it, you meet some people that you truly vibe with. I met a lady, her name is Sabrina Hernandez-Walker. Or Walker Hernandez. Double names always get me. I always forget what's one's first and last. Yeah. But we vibe so much. We vibe so much on just a quick, I don't even know, it was 30 or 45-minute call. She's like, listen, I love your vibe. I love your energy. I have this platform. I want you to kind of talk to my group. Okay. So that led there. And I didn't even expect it. I was just like, how can we help each other? You get what I'm saying? Yeah. And literally, I probably talked to her on a Monday. I was on her, doing something like this to her Facebook group on a Thursday. And then not to mention, just from people hearing it, I was launching a campaign through one of my platforms that I, was launching this year called Campaign for a Cause. And they're like, I'm interested. I got clients from that, that I didn't, but even when we say win-win, literally she reached out to me this year. It's like, hey, Rochelle, I'm doing this event. I know you work with this type of people. I'm looking for these type of people. Can you refer some people that can come on this panel for me? Like literally, I'm like emailing people. Literally, she got, had at least two of my folks, 2 to 3 people. I thought of 2 people was like, yeah, I'm excited. Let's go. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? So all from an initial, just reaching out and saying, listen, we kind of serve the same people, do different things, how can we work together? And it's still a continuous growing relationship. And that's just one example.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love it. I think what's most important about what you're saying is that you were willing to accept feedback, and, you started making those connections. And then that connection, you was able to step out of your comfort zone to reach out to people that had a similar client that you want to work with, but you weren't in competition. And that's the value of collaboration. As we begin to land the plane, Rochelle, tell us who do you want to collaborate with? I mean, when you think about, I know you mentioned nonprofits, but if you want to be specific, you can be specific here. But who would you want to collaborate with? If they were listening to this podcast and heard this message, would they reach out to you? Who would those people be?
Definitely, as I already mentioned, nonprofit consultants or people that serviced the nonprofit sector, other nonprofit leaders, because I know already a couple of things I have in store that's coming up in the next 6 months. I'd be interested in connecting with people that you serve, youth entrepreneurs. Maybe you have a passion for pouring into youth, or you have a program or service for youth entrepreneurs. I would love to connect and collaborate. I'm even open to collaborating with other people that are marketing professionals. A lot of people say that, they're always competitive of working with people that also do marketing. I am not. I know my sauce. I know what I do. I'm not challenged in any way, but because I know there's different branches of marketing. Like literally, I just connected with did something with a woman that does PR. We both know her.
Yeah. Come on. Sharon, that's right.
You know what I mean?
On.
Sharon does marketing, Sharon does PR. You get what I'm saying? But I don't do PR. I do digital marketing, but there's a way that we can still collaborate, right? So I'm really just looking for the people, in a nutshell, nonprofit leaders, you serve youth entrepreneurs, or maybe you also do marketing, but maybe, you're lacking and you want your audience to know more about the sales part or the content part or truly, whatever it may be, right? Like, I don't want to put a box on it, because I just like to say, let's get on a call and let's connect. And then, when you get people that are on the up and up and trying to grow in different areas, you never know what you can conjure up. You might just create something on a whim just together and say, listen, let's do this together. Yeah. So yeah, right now those are the people I'm looking to connect with.
I love it. So as we wrap up, Rochelle, how can people find you? If they love what they heard in terms of your message today, how can they find you? What's the best way for them to connect with you?
The best way to connect with me, if you're looking just to, connect and follow and, get more gems, that type of thing. LinkedIn, obviously, you can just put in Rochelle Edrington, you'll find me. I know you love it, but definitely LinkedIn. I'm on Facebook and Instagram at Grow with Vpro, but obviously you can always go to my website, which is www.marketingvpro, V means virtual, vpro.com.
That's awesome. Yes. That's awesome. So one last question for you, and it has nothing to do with collaboration. But, as you know, we are self-published in 30 days. So we focus on assisting aspiring authors and becoming published authors. So say, for example, when you are ready to write your first book, right? Or your second book or your third book or your 10th book, if you had the opportunity to go anywhere in the world to write your book, where would you go? If I was paying for it, if self-published in 30 days was paying for it, where would you want to go to write this book?
To write the book, just to get all the content out.
To get it out. Yeah, to get it out.
Man, I don't care where it is, as long as it got blue water and I can see the fingernail polish on my toenails.
Come on now.
And I'm sitting right there on my little lounge chair in some white sand.
Okay.
With my little margarita.
Okay. All right.
Where it is.
I love it. So actually it rules out a lot of different places, right? So we not doing it off of Jersey Shore. That ain't no white sandy beaches in Jersey.
Take me away. I want to go with somewhere where nobody knows my name. Okay, like I want to be in a bubble.
Okay, I like that. So we love asking that question because we recognize that people have a desire to travel and go different places. I had one brother say, just drop me off anywhere in Africa, right? Just anywhere in Africa. You know what I'm saying? And then one person was like, listen, I just want to stay in my house. I was like, okay, that's good for us. We ain't got to pay for nothing. You stay in your house. But I appreciate you, Rochelle, for sharing, for being here with us, for dropping the gem that you dropped. And listen, if you missed it, I think you need to go back and rewind what she said in terms of how she's able to create collaboration. And make sure you connect with Rochelle and let her know that you heard about us, learned about her through the Self-Publishing 30 Days podcast, YB's Collaboration Corner. And as we bring this to the close, it's something that I always say, Rochelle, I encourage people to know that this is the year for their new book. But I want them to be encouraged, be blessed, but most of all, continue to share the faith. And the way that you do that is by walking in your gift, because your gift will make room for you. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Yeah.